Well, does Mark Zuckerberg need a bit of an image makeover? The Facebook CEO and one of the richest men in the world is apparently thinking about entering politics, but does he need to make some big changes if he wants to find electoral success? Marketing expert Mark Gordon joins me now with more on this. So, Mark, nice to see you.
Hey, good morning.
All right, for months, Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook profile has looked less like that of a CEO and more like somebody who's making a bid for the White House. We've seen him visit a Ford factory in Michigan, make a surprise visit to Ohio. He was hosted by a family of Democrats who actually voted for Donald Trump. Fire department in Indiana, he stopped there. He was recently feeding a calf on a farm in Wisconsin. All of this, of course, documented on Facebook. What do you think he's trying to accomplish by doing all this?
Well, it seems like there isn't an industry he's not going to try to make a cameo at. I'm not really sure the ultimate destination, and something tells me neither does he, but it seems that he's sort of planting a foundation for whatever direction he wants to move in. He's always been seen as somewhat aloof. He's in his ivory tower. Most people only know him through Facebook or through the media, so he's kind of coming out of there and saying, hey, you know what, I'm one of you guys, you know, and it's someone that people can relate to, or he's trying to present himself as such. And you know, we know from politics that beyond policy, people vote for someone they like and trust first and foremost. So if he can kind of get in with the regular people and present himself as someone who's approachable, trustworthy, one of them, well, you know, that's a great place to start regardless of what he's going to do.
All right, so perhaps he's building a foundation towards 2020. But let's talk about Facebook for a second, because it certainly has been in the news lately. And does Mark Zuckerberg have a bit of an image problem, or would this be a problem for him on the campaign trail when you look at things like Facebook's response or lack thereof to the rash of violence and killings that have appeared on Facebook Live?
Well, we have to understand that it's really a company culture thing. And Facebook is in the business of getting eyeballs, getting viewers, getting more people signing up, and thus increasing revenue because of that. So it's kind of a balancing act. On the one hand, they don't want to show that kind of content because it makes them look bad. On the other hand, you know, and we all know anyone who's passed a car wreck, you know, everyone turns to look.
Right,
and
but could a political opponent say to Zuckerberg, listen, you couldn't even take care of this issue. How are you going to solve the problems of the country?
They potentially could, but luckily Mark Zuckerberg has a big team around him, and it's easy for him to step back from a sort of an appearance perspective and say, you know what, we did our best, we moved as quickly as we could, you know, but the fact is, it is a company culture thing, and as you touched on, it is something that lands on his lap, and people could question him about that.
Okay, let me ask you, since we're talking about image and marketing, the old saying is, the clothes make the man. Mark Zuckerberg is known for his T-shirts. Does he have to ditch the T-shirt and start looking the part?
I think at some point, I mean, I think he's following in the footsteps of Steve Jobs, who kind of ditched the tie a long time ago, and he presented himself as being just a regular guy. Mark Zuckerberg, I think, has taken that to another level. And with the hoodies and the T-shirts, he's become somewhat approachable. The big question is, does someone want, or does the American public want someone wearing hoodies and a T-shirt to represent them as a world leader?
All right, just finally, Mark Zuckerberg versus Donald Trump, 2020. Would you bet against it?
I would totally bet against it, and I'll tell you why, because I think in 4 years, the American public are going to have enough of the concept of a business person jumping into politics. I don't see it.
Okay, a little Trump fatigue, perhaps.
Absolutely.
All right. Marketing expert Mark Gordon. Mark, I appreciate the time. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.